Thank you so much for taking the time and being summoned for this hangout once again. If you're new to this hangout, this is me, Albert. Just want to say thank you for joining me. I still want to continue the conversation that we've been having about Frankenstein. And I've been so happy to see that it's been out now for a whole week, more than a week actually. And by the time this actually gets uploaded and everything, it'll be like a week and 3 days. Doesn't really matter. I don't know why I'm being so technical right now, but let me take a sip of my coffee. So I do want to just continue this conversation because everything I've been reading online on social media has been wonderful. It's been great. It's been so nice to see and refreshing to read that even though it was adapted from a book and it's not a true adaptation, people are accepting this with wide open arms. And it's not exactly what I was expecting, especially since my very, very first, experience with Frankenstein. The people that were coming out of the movie theater were not expressing the most uplifting and positive things about it. So that also made me feel like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's not going to be received as well as I want it to be, even though it's Guillermo del Toro, even though it's Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, these very well-known and loved actors and actresses, and the director, obviously. So I was kind of scared about that, but it seems like everyone has been really just raving about it, saying positive things. People have dedicated a weekend for Frankenstein and have probably at this point now seen it more than just once. And I think that's very beautiful. I love seeing like the edits that I've been coming across through Reels, TikTok, the significance. But I think the overall message that I've been really seeing and really, really standing behind is people just expressing the sympathy and empathy that they feel for the creature. I think that's very, very beautiful. And I think that's something that we need right now, especially because it's so true. It's so true. It's a very gothic and romantic image that we see, but it's so true that every day in our lives we encounter other creatures, and it's this very much heart that we should be leading our actions with when we make certain decisions of how we're going to treat other people. And I do want to focus on a quote that I want to read from the actual book, Mary Shelley. So bear with me. I'm so sorry. While I look for this, let me just say, found it. Haha, just kidding. So this is how the quote reads, and I think it's so important, and everyone's going to have their own different philosophies behind this, and meters, justifications, whether or not, but I just want to give and offer some sort of, perspective. I think it's so important, especially in the times that we live in. So this is the quote, and this is the creature, the monster, the demon, however you want to view him, or however you know him as. This is what he's expressing to his creator, Victor Frankenstein. He says, "I am malicious because I am miserable." It's a very, very simple, very to the point quote, but it's super, super impactful. I highlighted it yellow. I love to annotate my books and write in them. Every color means something different. Highlighting something yellow means it's very significant, and I need to ponder on this and really just emphasize on the message that this creature is and just expand on that. I feel like in this, there is, the trunk of the idea feeling. But with that, there's so many branches that you can expand to. And I think that's so important. And I think that there's so much truth in the fact that there are so many people out in the world today that we encounter day in and day out that are miserable. And because they are miserable, they are not the most kindest people. But it is these exact people that need so much love. And I don't want this hangout to sound very preachy. I don't want it to be like I'm giving a sermon. This is my TED Talk. But I do want it to be, I think the reason why I feel so compelled and moved to make a little hangout with you is because there's been so much dialogue and discourse about how people are receiving this creature. Even though from the very beginning you see how violent, aggressive, how he's fueled with rage and violence. I said violence already. But revenge and just vengeance. That's something that he's currently embodying. And then we get the backstory as to see why he is the way he is and what he needs and what he's seeking, right? And I feel like a lot of times the people that we encounter are very colorful in their language. They're very rude. They're very, but they're not healed. That's my point. The point is that they're not healed people and they come off a certain way. And we're not going to go to their backstory. We're not going to get to hear their narrative. But I think that it's so easy for us to give and offer some of our love for these people when we can present it in our minds of this person is miserable. And maybe that's why they're malicious. Maybe that's why they're being rude. It's nothing personal. It's just the fact that they were not loved. And I think love is such an important ingredient for us to overcome so many trials and tribulations and heal, to really heal. And unfortunately, the world and the state that we live in, love is a very luxurious thing. But I think we all have the power to possess that and to give that. And I feel like we just need to find those opportunities to offer that to other people. And it doesn't have to be anything grand or extravagant. It can be simple. It can be very much easy to give. There's such loving, kind acts of service. A smile can be very loving. If it comes from a place that's genuine, I think that's very important. And I guess, again, the reason why I just want to express this is because I've been seeing so much empathy and sympathy towards this person that did do these violent, horrific deeds. Yet we're still able to do that, not justifying that. That's still very wrong, but still being able to sympathize and empathize. And I think that's all I'm asking for as a friend. Just offer that, so that way when you go out in the world and you see people that are creatures, because we're all creatures and we all don't know everyone's, like I said, story. We don't know their lore. We don't know why they are the way they are. But we can, I think, have enough thought to know that the reason why they're not maybe the most kindest person is because they did not receive the love that they did deserve at one point or another in their life. And that's why they are not the most pleasant person. But they're still a creature, and there's still so much power in being able to give that to someone. So I hope that I'm able to give that to you. And again, just thank you so much for hanging out with me again. I really, really do appreciate it. And I want to know what you've done recently to show this love to another creature that's in need of love. Even to yourself. We are ourselves, like I said, we're creatures. We need to show self-love to ourselves and be compassionate and graceful to how we are with one another, but even with ourselves. I think it stems from us, and we have to source that, fuel it, and be able to give that to others as well. But I'm almost done with my reread. I've encountered so many amazing, beautiful quotes that I want to share more and more. Again, this is not the end. Not by any means is this close to the end of my whole Frankenstein era and I guess high, because there's just so much to derive. And every time I read it, I annotate. And I do want to show you a little bit of that. I think it's so important to show that. I don't know if you can see. Oh, is it even... I don't know if you could even see that, but there's just so much to dive into, so much really to unpack and talk about and have conversations. I think that's so beautiful to take your time with a certain type of work of art, literature, or visual, revisit it and see how you can actually apply it in your day-to-day life and what it does to you as a person. And how it, again, there's, oh my gosh, there's so much coming to my mind now. There's an interview with Killian, and how he expresses the reason why he loves reading so much is because it expands on your empathy.
Murphy has always let stories lead his path.
You find so much empathy in novels, because there you are putting yourself into somebody else's point of view. And
actually a book like Frankenstein. So please pick it up, please read it, or if not, please continue to show up on our hangouts. I would love to just be able to show you some of my favorite quotes. And that's it. I don't know. See ya.